So we know the US is going to build a base near Damascus in Syria. Great idea. Where's Paula White? She's obviously reading her Bible and understands eschatology. Not. She's obviously advising the president and his people very well. Not. Anyway, on top of that, US to construct $500 million military base near Gaza to supervise ceasefire. The US, coordinating its plans with the Israeli government and the IDF, is in the process of examining potential sites. It shows how determined they are to be involved in the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. The new base is intended for use by the International Stabilization Force, the ISF, that has been planned to take up security operations in Gaza in the future. It will reportedly be able to accommodate several thousand soldiers and is expected to cost $500 million. Now, yeah, from the one argument side, I would say, oh yeah, awesome idea, great. If there's a solid military base right next to Gaza with a couple of thousand American soldiers, it would make the terrorists think twice, right? No. Then my brain kicks in and says, the IDF had bases everywhere, and they still attacked. The hatred is bigger than the fear. Death is celebrated amongst them, not life. So is that base going to make such a big difference? No. Probably just going to endanger all the soldiers that are based on that base. I know, that wasn't a play on word. That just happened. So, yeah, that's crazy. Could that $500 million not have gone towards the struggling Americans in America? But that's me flogging a dead horse. Then France, to help the Palestinians draft a constitution for a future state, according to the amazing Macron. Macron says France and the Palestinian Authority will set up a joint committee to draft a new Palestinian constitution, because Macron's doing such a great job. His people just love him. Not. So why should he be helping? I think he's like trying to audition for the position of the big man that's still coming, but yeah, no. US mediator Kushner and Netanyahu meet in Jerusalem to discuss Gaza ceasefire phase 2. Jared Kushner and Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu met in Jerusalem on Monday to discuss the second phase of the fragile ceasefire in Gaza. While the first stage included the exchange of hostages and prisoners, the second concerns how Gaza should be governed and the potential deployment of the International Stabilization Force. Again, Hamas not playing according to the rules or the agreements at all, still causing chaos every chance, still refusing to lay down their weapons, and lots of other complications, including Iran mobilizing her tentacles to try and attack Israel again. So it's not looking very rosy. Again, for me, the big win is that all the living hostages are free, that we know of. Iran smuggled $1 billion to Hezbollah this year, despite US sanctions. Treasury official John Hurley is calling for increased pressure from regional nations to cut off funding streams while Iran remains weakened. $1 billion. So here's the big man in Iran sitting down, and his advisors come to him and say, our biggest crisis at the moment is the country's running out of water, everything's falling apart, we need to try and find a solution, otherwise the people are going to keep dying and getting sick, and we're going to have a whole bunch of other problems if we don't resolve this. What do you think we should do next? And his response, let's smuggle $1 billion to Hezbollah. Let's smuggle even more money to Iraq. Let's make sure we equip more Chinese weaponry and Russian weaponry. Let's prepare to attack Israel as hard as we can. But what about the water? What about the water? We've got water in the palace. Let them eat cake. That no one has stormed that palace and removed him by force beats me. Israeli Defense Minister, the real genocide is Turkey's massacre of the Kurds. Brilliant tweet aimed at Turkey, and that was fun. Death penalty for terrorist bill takes first hurdle in Knesset amidst raucous debate. MK Son Harmelech, no more prisons, no more deals, but a death sentence. The bill, sponsored by Jewish Power MK Limor Son Har-Melech, was approved with 39 to 16 votes. And they're arguing and pushing. The ultra-religious are against it, for example, and those kind of things. If you attack and it's against Israel and against the Jews and you're a terrorist and you are out for murder, then you should get the death penalty. That's what they're trying to push through. And it's very controversial. There's a lot of dissension amongst their own ranks trying to qualify this and really get to the bottom of it. But it shows you where they're at the moment. Turkey said to be mobilizing troops for Gaza peacekeeping, sparking even more tension with Israel. They're advancing plans to send thousands of soldiers to the Gaza Strip as part of the international peacekeeping force, pushing forward despite US hesitation and Israeli resistance. The Turkish government mobilized more than 2,000 troops from across the country for deployment to Gaza as part of the US-backed peace plan, along other participating countries, the Middle East Eye News outlet reported. There will be no Turkish boots on the ground, Shosh Bedrosian, a spokesperson for the Israeli Prime Minister's office, said during a press conference. Israeli Foreign Minister Gideon Sa'ar condemned Turkey's latest move, describing the arrest warrants as the latest PR stunt by the tyrant Erdogan. The Israeli Defense Minister announced that such accusations were ridiculous. Take those ridiculous arrest warrants and get the hell out of here, the official posted on X. They're more fitting for the massacres you're committing against the Kurds. Israel is strong and unafraid. You will only be able to see Gaza through binoculars. Brilliant. I love it when they get feisty online. You want to come to Gaza, you're preparing 2,000 troops. The only way you're going to see Gaza is through your binoculars. Try us. We're ready. That's the message. And yeah, that would be interesting. War opening up between Israel and Turkey. And then Turkey might learn the lesson that Iran learned the hard way. You think you're big, you think you're strong, you think you can do it, but you can't. Not against Israel. And guess what? All your Arab friends are suddenly going to be busy somewhere else or on a long trip or sleeping or really tired. One of those things will happen when you need them most because they ain't getting involved in your fight with Israel. Please continue to pray for Israel. Pray for the peace of Jerusalem. Pray for people on all sides in that region to come to a saving grace and knowledge of Jesus Christ while there's still time. Shalom.